What are red flags in a friendship most people brush away? They only talk to you when all of their other friends are gone. Oof, this hit close to home. Couldn't have covered it better. Friends who are always happy to talk about themselves, but never once ask you how you're doing or anything engaging you to talk about yourself. Have a friend exactly like this. It's very annoying lately. You should let them know. Maybe they don't realize they're doing it and would change their behavior to be a better friend. I was that friend once, and I wish I had known before it was too late to fix it. Always asking for favors, but never there when you need them to return one. Yeah, a friendship is a two-way street and ones that only go one way are not healthy. It's the fact that they act like you are the best of friends when they're around you because they want something, then immediately blow you off once you've helped. Had a few so-called friends like this. They weren't around for long. You see, you got a private message from them and your gut reaction is to start getting nervous or anxious. What is it this time? This was happening with me for months before the friendship imploded. It was always something, and none of it good. Oh, my crisis friend is calling. I wonder what crisis she's having today. Being dismissive of all your interests and achievements. Meanwhile everything they do, no matter how mundane, is amazing. I had a friend like this. She literally blocked me on social media when I was doing well at my job because she couldn't be happy for me, but then she sends me messages on a weekly basis about how great her very ordinary office job is. People who can't be happy for other people are so ridiculous. How hard is it to give a thumbs up or say that's awesome, good for you, and carry on? It's hard for people who are insecure about their own accomplishments and become jealous when good things happen to other people. My best friend in high school once specifically requested for me to post a picture of us for National Best Friend Day or some similar holiday. I asked if she'd be posting a picture of us too. No, I have a lot of best friends, but I'm your main best friend, so you should post a picture of us, was her response. The next couple years were full of backstabbing and gaslighting, complete with occasional fallings out, until we finally stopped speaking. Looking back, I can't believe I didn't see it coming. Good riddance to her. That's awful that she said that to you, and I hope you've better, more considerate people in your life to appreciate you. 1 upper friends. 2 upper friends. That's nothing. Try having a 3 upper friend. You're lucky. I have a 4 upper friend. Friends that don't let you have any other friends and require 100% of your time when they can't give you the same. This also applies to significant others. Especially so with significant others. Huge red flag. Another red flag is if you're so outright refuses to have anything to do with any of your friends. This is either a very bad indication on their character or a very bad indication on yours, since all your friends are shitty. I've got a friend who loves to talk about himself. Everything is always about him. So, when I'm out with my friends and he's in our group, we created a game where you have to drink every time he starts a conversation about himself. It's made it a lot more tolerable. Edit. To those of you who think we do it behind his back, I never said we do. It's something we've talked about with him plenty of times and he's aware of. He's not a bad guy at all. It's just how he is. He also doesn't mean anything bad by it. He's aware we do it. We are all just super close. So we've just made a game out of it, and now he often catches himself doing it. Have you ever addressed this with him? They don't ask about you, they just turn every conversation about themselves. When you talk about exams, they don't ask you how you did, they just talk about themselves. When you talk about not sleeping well, they talk about how they didn't sleep. When you tell them you broke up with so they talk about their etc. Some people think that is how you show empathy, by showing you have similar problems. It becomes a real problem when they combine it with being a topper. I slept awful last night. Woke up at 3 and just gave up. Ugh, me too. I never did fall asleep, and I just laid on the couch all night. When they push other people out of the friend group. It happened in my group, where there were 5 of us. She joined and basically bullied 3 out of the group. But it wasn't obvious bullying. A lot of things change. Next thing I know, I'm being treated like shit to the point I hate myself. Me and my friend managed to leave and make friends with the original 5 again. The one that kicked everyone out is very social and no one RLY likes her. BC she's not nice, but she's now found herself with no friends. You get what you ducking deserve. Friends that aren't happy for your success and happiness, but are very close when you're sad. The emotional vampires. That's how they feed. Friends who gossip excessively. If they are talking about other people, chances are they are talking about you. My roommates like to gossip by saying extremely nice things behind friends' backs. That kind of gossiping is okay. Reading these comments are helping to calm my anxieties about whether or not I'm a good friend, so thanks for that y'all. Another sign of a bad friend is no self-reflection. Sounds like you don't fall into that category either. Friends who constantly call you for advice, but never take it, and continue to involve you in their drama. If you're not going to make moves to improve your situation, stop asking me for help. Continually feeling like you want to say something, but should hold your tongue. They call you only when they need you, and then you feel guilty when you get mad because they've had a rough upbringing or something, and you feel like a bad friend, and like maybe you're overreacting. Because you know they've been through a lot, but still you want to vent to them about your problems because they might be able to sympathize, but then you think that their problems have been worse than yours, so you really can't complain because in comparison you don't have shit to complain about. And they don't call you or text you for a few months, but suddenly they get into an argument with somebody and they're always in the right and they need somebody to reassure them that they deserve better. Sounds about right. I have friends like this, but it prevents them from being good friends. Having to censor yourself. I have friends with different religious/political beliefs that I think are absolutely insane. I don't endorse what they say, but I just keep my mouth shut because I know they wouldn't be okay with it, and the purpose of these friendships usually revolve around sports/music. Passive-aggressive insults to other friends or to you. Inability or unwillingness to apologize when he or she does something wrong. It's symptomatic of an ego issue that will eventually infect every aspect of your friendship. I feel this one. Had a friend like that who always managed to put the blame on me, and it made me so frustrated that at one point I snapped when a common friend of us experienced that same toxic behavior. She found out later and got super mad at me for trash talking her. Lol, maybe I'm the bad guy. If you have had a friend for a long time, but you only seem to be able to talk about memories in the past, each time you get together or exchange messages, it's remember in high school, or remember that time when, could be a sign that you both have grown apart and do not have much in common today that you can connect on. I have a friend who does this, except they have become wild exaggerations to the point they are no longer true. This is subtle and a bit counterintuitive, but beware of the rescuer martyr. The person that's always rushing out to help and give everyone else their all, whether or not it's needed, or whether the recipient is comfortable with it. They are good people, very well intentioned, and saintly in their generosity with their time and energy. However, sometimes it goes to the extreme, and then it's more a symptom of a toxic cycle, where they only get meaning and self-worth when they are saving someone. For these latter people, they tend not to have good boundaries, get over involved in your life, take on way too much, and make everyone's problems their own. They end up overwhelmed, mired in drama, and resentful, and then they become to martyr. The problem with being friends with this type of person is that you're not in an equal friendship, where everything is mostly good and occasionally there's ups and downs, and you support each other through them. It's more like you're a project. Everyone's a project, and once you stop being a project you're now support, not just for them and their own problems, but part of the fire brigade for their other projects, which they've internalized as their own problems and drama. The ones who create and constantly dominate group chats. My circle of friends was actually severed in half because of this. Friend brings in another friend, and she starts dominating everything. My friends are like this cause of one person. Now we have two separate groups and the old one. It's shitty and sad. When they cancel plans, they always do it last minute, or just not show up. I had a friend who would ignore my messages asking where they were, and they would always message 3 days later that they were in the hospital or something. Every time. Not just once or twice, and like. It was a couple. One of you can answer me, even if that were true. When they refuse to validate you / compliment you. When you tell them your accomplishment or something you're proud of, they reply with what they did to devalue your thing. Friends that are always on their phones when you make the effort to hang out with them. Reading through this is making my heart sink with realization. We shouldn't have come here. Controlling, manipulative friends that try to change you rather than accepting you as you are. Where does good-natured advice ends and molding start? Some of these top comments are very vague. Same with talking about other friends. There's a difference between talking about them in general, criticizing something they've done, and mean gossip. They never say anything supportive of you, but they will point of your flaws and can't wait to burn you because it's funny to them. And then the follow-up of "you're too sensitive, it's just joking." They choose where and when to meet for plans without your input, then act entitled if you are busy or simply can't meet their demands. A friend of mine has been making fun of me for years. Just made fun of me whenever I did / said anything, even if I was serious. Didn't realize how much it's affected my self-esteem until I actually got really angry at her for something else and no longer considered her a friend. Also, she's mentally unstable. Now that's okay, and as her friends we want to help her with that, but she's not giving us a chance to do so. She just flips her shit and expects everyone to adapt to her. The real problem is that she hasn't changed. The same shit's been happening for years and she's apparently not trying to work on herself in that regard, still expecting us to just accept whatever BS she throws at us. So duck her. They try to correct your personal preferences for you. Bully you out of liking certain clothing / music / food / art, etc. They'll often frame it as if they're doing you a favor. It's a sign of emotional immaturity when people treat others like play objects rather than human beings. That's all for today, folks. Friendships can definitely be complicated. Do you have nice stories of your own? Please share them below. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for amazing Reddit content. I will see you later. Bye.